Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Jay Beershank. Thanks for joining me here for another edition of Book Reviews. Today we're in Italy. We've got some ruins behind us here. About to have an Easter brunch with the work crew. And we're going to talk about one of my favorite books that I've read in about a year. This book is amazing, really. I'm excited to talk about it. That book is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. So, for me, the trademark of a really good writer and what I really love to read is when a writer can take abstract, arcane concepts and then package and deliver them in concise ways, in concise methods that are easy to understand for the average person. So you take these really abstract, unclear, intellectual, lofty ideals, and then you turn them into you turn them into a decipherable message that hello. Yeah, okay, yeah. And that was what happens in this book really, really beautifully, is that the concepts and the intellectual sensualism, you can almost call it. What I mean by intellectual sensualism is kind of like this overindulgence in these lofty intellectual theories, and then the sensualistic pleasure that I think the author gets from then translating them into these beautiful poetic metaphors that convey seriously deep meaning with a seriously simple way of going about it. And to me, that's the trademark of a good writer, because it's really easy to think in your own mind and have these certain theories, but to be able to put them in a way that everybody can understand and everybody can resonate with is super interesting. And also to laden them heavy with metaphors is always super fun, because then you're like playing with the fragility of words and like the fragility of meaning. And I think that's just the trademark of a truly beautiful mind, for one, but a truly beautiful writer too. And yeah, so this book was really, really interesting to me. I love to see the character development of Dorian and Lord Henry. They're definitely what I would consider sensualists of like the highest degree, but not necessarily the present day sensualism, but like a sensualist like the father in the Karamazov brothers, like that sort of sensualist. When I use the word sensualist, I think of Dostoevsky's portrayal of a sensualist. It's like someone who is doing things in life purely for the fact of what they believe, or their conceptualization of what it means to do something like that, and then they're deriving a pleasure from doing something that they believe to mean something else. So it's like they're doing things for the sake of having the experience rather than the experience itself, which is like what I would call intellectual sensualism, and is a really interesting abstract idea that I really think about a lot. Honestly, that's why I enjoyed this book so much, because it really resonated. Going back to the packaging of these abstract ideas, I felt like the ideas tackled in this book are ideas that are so prevalent on my own mind, of just kind of like, honestly, like behavioral psychology and kind of like the fragility and folly of life and emotions. And it just was such a beautiful depiction of it, and I really enjoyed it. And also I loved the idea of Dorian being trapped in this prison of his own grace and beauty, and the fact that he was an ideal for the age, and since he was the ideal, the age wouldn't allow him to suffer, even though he wanted to suffer, but he couldn't, because he was the epitome, he was the idol. He was the paragon of excellence. And so his manner of exquisite refinement made it so he could not suffer no matter how bad he wanted to, except for in his own soul. He could suffer in his own soul, which is just such a beautiful thing. I really, really enjoyed to read about it. Yeah, I'd recommend this book 10 out of 10, but it's definitely like a really lofty one. Like, it just appealed to my most shadowy, sensualistic self. But sometimes it's really fun to grovel in that, and I hadn't found myself laughing at a book in so long. I would just sit there and laugh at the beauty of Oscar's mind and the beauty of his poetic little gifts of yeah, this refined intellectualism. It was just such a little fun dance to take in my own mind. And I really enjoyed it. The story in itself is pretty interesting as well. Just the interactions between these characters is so interesting. I love the way that he explains the psychological nature of the people, and it's just it's a beautifully packaged book. The ideas are so dense and so abstract, and even some people would say that they're sick and bad ideas, but just the mere fact that Oscar can wrap them into a package and deliver them to you like this is just remarkable, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. So yeah, I'd really recommend this book to anybody that thinks that they may be interested in anything that I've said so far, or just any kind of like unpackaging of these dense ideas, or just maybe like exploration into another world of viewing, like the senses and life, because they really go into so many core concepts of what it means to be alive and what it means to be human, but they're viewed from this super like abstract, analytical, archaic perspectives. Ah man, some people would say that they're nasty, bad perspectives, but is there really a nasty, bad perspective? It just is what it is, and to read about it and just to think about it is so interesting. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this one. I'd seriously pick it up. It's only like 200 pages. I breezed through it, and it really took me on a indulgent little dirty pleasure that I loved and wouldn't stop laughing. Yeah. That's my review of that. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.